when I have made it in the final, it would have been enough
to win the World Championship.
To win the World Championship. Stupid. But, of course, you're feeling good, everything, self-confidence, and go for it.
Welcome back to another installment of the Riders Lounge podcast, the podcast which is pretty much dedicated to freestyle motocross, where I catch up with the best riders from all around the world and pick their brains about anything and everything. And this time, we catch up with the professor of freestyle motocross, Fabian Bauersachs from Germany. I'm Steve Sommerfeld and I'm your host on this wild ride, and if you've only just tuned in for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button now so you get notified of all the new episodes which come out every 2 weeks. Also, jump on the Riders Lounge Instagram, Facebook and YouTube pages and give them a follow for heaps more content where you can actually see some of the riding footage from each of my guests instead of just listening to it via the podcast. I have to give a huge shout out to Rothaus Brewery from the Black Forest region in Germany for supplying us with the necessary liquid refreshments to get through this interview and being a major supporter of the podcast. Being based in Germany and having my delivery of some different beers from Rothaus, I actually reorganized the beer box as a little mixed selection as I knew I was traveling to Fabian's place for the interview just up the road. So one side of the case was the Tannenzaepfle Pills for Fabi, and I tucked into the alcohol-free Tannenzaepfle to keep me hydrated, and the taste is almost identical, so there's no fear of missing out from the Tannenzaepfle selection. I also want to thank my personal sponsors from my riding days as well, especially Lakes Networking from Australia. I'm actually working on some new projects and Jason is helping organise some new websites to be designed, and even though Lakes is based in Australia, their web developer, who spent 10 years in Australia working with Lakes, has actually returned to his native Finland. So even while I'm on the other side of the world, I'm actually able to work within pretty much the same time zone anyway. Also, make sure you check out Custom MX Graphics and MotorX Oils in Australia, GB Orthopedics based in Brisbane for anyone needing knee braces, TCX Boots, DEP Pipes, and RaceFX. My guest in this episode, Fabian Bauersachs, has been an integral part of the Night of the Jumps team from the very first competition 20 years ago in Riesa, Germany. It's crazy to think he's still involved in the sport after so many years, and now he's one of the main judges at the World Championships. From the early days of the IFMXF, and now more commonly known as Night of the Jumps, the best riders in the world have competed in the World Championships, and you can be there to see the action live. Check out nightofthejumps.com. Grab your tickets and the pit party pass so you can come down onto the track before each competition and meet the riders and also the judges like Fabi and I, and you can pick our brains about the sport or just have a chinwag. If you can't get to the events though, we still of course have the live stream of each competition where I'll be commentating the whole show as well. And since we've had some events postponed due to COVID-19 until a little bit later in the year, starting in September in Basel, Switzerland, we're actually going to break open the vault of some classic events and live stream them throughout the year until we're back on the road and doing what we love. To give you a little bit of background story on this interview, I actually came to Europe for only a 2-month holiday way back in 2014, and I was lucky enough to be riding on a spare KTM from Night of the Jumps as I filmed a 1-month trip around Europe for the Road to Nations series, which you can actually find on YouTube. And I made this little trip down to Fabian's place from Berlin to ride with, I think it was Hannes Ackermann and Lucas Weiss. Fabi had retired the year earlier, but his ramps were still there and the motocross track was still pristine. So why not go for a little 4-hour drive for a pretty damn good ride? So Fabi organised us to stay in this little German pub called Landhaus Kaiser, and Rach and I arrived in the middle of the night, went upstairs, went to bed, and when we woke in the morning and opened the blinds on the windows, the first thing we saw was these rolling green hills with this huge castle just sitting on top called Fester Coburg. In the middle of the night, we had no idea what the area looked like, but that morning we both just said to each other, oh, we could live here. So the following year, we made the huge leap and Fabi organised for his old apartment to be available, and we moved into there in Rodenthal. So his old track and ramps are only 2 minutes up the road. I had somewhere perfect to train for my own freestyle career. And when he wasn't painting houses for the family business, Fabian Bauersachs, as a master painter, he'd get out and he was still kicking my ass on the track because the old man is still pretty damn fast. And that's when I was riding every single day as a day job and he was just playing around. So for Fabian's interview, I've actually decided to break this up into 2 episodes. As one of Europeans' OGs of FMX, he's seen it all over the years and there's a lot to tell in his story. And we barely even scratched the surface, from injuries to missing out on world championships and the ebbs and flows of his career. So sit back, relax and enjoy the latest Riders Lounge podcast with the Professor, Fabian Bauersachs. Rightio. Actually, before we get started,
yeah, we have to open a beer.
yeah, exactly. What beer are you having? We have Roadhouse Alcohol Fry or the Roadhouse Tannenzaepfle Alcohol.
We go for a normal one. We're doing some work. We need Sprit.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna have one alcohol free because I'm driving later, but I will drink one.
Yeah, but then you drink alcohol-free beer, but then you go for whiskey, huh?
Later. So, Prost.
Prost.
So here we are in the brand new garden shed from Fabian Bauersachs' house here in Münkröden, the big city of Münkröden in Germany. Awesome to see you finally got the renovations done here. Almost finished.
Yeah. Hello first. So nice to have you here. And yeah, we did a lot of work in the last months or over the last year as well. Like you see, the whole garden, everything is brand new. We put in a lot of time, effort, sweat, money. But I guess right now in the end, it's becoming to a nice picture and it's getting better and better. But I don't want to think about all the work we have to do for the next future. So it's...
I noticed the windows have still got some plastic around the outside. There's still a few little things to finish.
Yeah, that's right. We just finished what you say in English, facade.
The facade.
The facade, okay. The outside of the house. We put a new plaster on it and new paint and everything. And yeah, the windows are some of the old ones.
Yeah.
So we have to repaint them and everything. And yeah, so that's the next step on the to-do list. And the next thing is also getting the roof and new paint and everything. But there are a lot of steps you have to do to get it properly and everything.
Well, you would know this as the Malenmeister or the chief painter, which is your real job.
Exactly. So I want to do it right and in a good way. And I'm living here. So, if it's not good, I see it every day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be good not to be happy in your own apartment.
Exactly right. That's it. It's worse when you see like a mechanic who has the worst car. Like you don't want to be the painter with the worst looking house. So you've got to have the best house.
Exactly.
Going.
So, in Germany we say, der Schuster hat die schlechtesten Schuhe. I don't know what is in English.
Mein Deutsch ist nicht das Gelbe vom Ei.
I think so. And for translation in English, the shoemaker has the worst shoes.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying in Germany. So no, and it's just up to time. It was painted for about 15 years or something.
Yeah.
Last time, and we want to refresh it totally. So like you can see in the years before, now we put in all new paint, and it's a little bit what you say? I don't get the word. So sorry, I'm not getting the right English word because I'm a little bit out of English, not used to it.
Yeah, because we've had Corona, so I can't even come see you until
exactly.
now,
So. That's right. It was a little bit influenced from Australia because when you now look to the colors, it's not a normal gray. It's like gray, sandy.
Yeah,
that was when we was in Australia for holiday. We just walking through the streets and all the hotels. and we liked the color. So we said, okay, that's also one part we want to bring back from Australia. Though.
So you're sitting here, you're looking out on this awesome new backyard, but you're not holding this microphone very well because your arm is pretty damn sore, and it looks like you're struggling even to have your arm in the right position. What's happened? Why are you not looking very comfortable sitting there?
Yeah. Short words. The shoulder right now, it's pretty, how should I say, pretty fucked. It's just pain in the ass. It's annoying because normally injury isn't a big deal. Normally. But right now, I guess was many doctors on it, and some of them maybe messed something up. I don't know. I still figured out and trying when I go the next time to my specialist, to Dr. Sepp Brown, who taking all the years is in my freestyle career, taking care of me, and I was always super happy. So he is now my next station.
Yeah.
Can you say it? It's my next step. And he has to fix it. And yeah, when was it? Last year in October?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was...
Was it October? Yeah, I guess it was.
It was October.
Yeah.
It was October. It was a last riding session.
Yeah.
And you know me, I was all the years pretty much full gas with work. Was really hard to find time for riding and doing something what I love to do and what I want to do. And just before someone is saying, why are you doing a dangerous sport like this and you're running your own business? It's like when you all day just full gas, thinking, trying to fix problems, making clients happy and finding solutions for something, how to get, all your timeline and everything under control. There's something you need to do for your head. So this was a sport.
Yeah.
It's kind of my mental wellness. Can you say it like this?
Yeah, like and it's your release. It's
for my head, you know? I mean, it's a really, and you know me, how long I did the sport, motocross and freestyle, and this is just a part of my life. It's not just a hobby. It's not just a job like it was many, many years. It's my one part of my heart.
Yeah.
That's easy. And the other good thing is, if you're doing the job like this and you want to do it really good and active, you have something you are focused on to keep your body and you keep your health always on a good level. So that was also something when I came back home from work at about 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. I was always, okay, you want to be good on the bike and you don't want to have arm pump after one lap. No, go out, get your ass up, do something, still 30 minutes or 1 hour running or doing some whatever exercises at home. So I was in a really good shape still, just doing it for fun. And yeah, this day, I guess we had a big plan. We planned it for 1 week or 2 weeks or something.
I think longer because it had been a long time since you'd ridden.
Exactly. There was something like, okay, that's weather is really good. And it was raining before and no Fabland when it was raining a little bit. It's just perfect conditions. The dirt and everything is just delicious. And on this
delicious.
Day,
I like
delicious.
That.
Yeah, it's delicious. And on this day, I guess there was something, the plan, like I wanted to finish my job sites and everything at about 3 o'clock because the plan was to be on Fabland at 4 and then just having 2 easy riding sessions till 6 o'clock because at this time it's getting dark. And of course, you know, life is this what happened when you have other plans. At this day, I guess 3 clients or something just showing up and needed help and whatever, having had some problems, and I was trying to help. I wouldn't say wasting my time, but I lost a lot of time and ending up at, I guess, 4:30.
Yep.
4:30 I finished my job site, what has to be done because, you know, just painting everything and it has to be finished. And I came up to Fabland with my working clothes.
Yeah.
Because Mike, the friend of my sister, he was so good and said, look, I know you are in stress. I put your bike and all your gear already in the car. Just come up the Fabland. Yeah. Okay, so everything was a little bit in hurry, stress, whatever. But the track was just perfect. And, like you do always, dressing up, warming up, doing your first riding session. And it was just awesome.
Yeah.
No, at this day, I can remember it totally, and everything was perfect. The dirt, the riding, you, Mike, all was up. We had fun, and it was so much fun to ride, and I just felt so good. And I was immediately fast because, my Fabland, my dirt, I like it, and it was so much fun. And I realized direct, this is what you need. You have to do it. You need to do it with all the stress. And why haven't we jumped the...
It had been 6 months since we jumped that jump.
Yeah, we jumped it 6 months all the time. Yeah. And, yes, now, maybe this story before. It was my old form pit.
Yeah.
So we got rid of all this form and everything. Then there was a big hole. Then the one guy was coming up with a big machine and just, close the hole and do a little bit work. But it was not exactly how we needed to do it. Then we worked on it, with a little bobcat.
We got the little bobcat in and put a tiny little
landing,
which was a quarter of the size of what it should be, but it was a little landing.
Exactly. And we decided before, no, the landing is not big enough. We need to put on more dirt. But we brought up more dirt. But because of we don't have more dirt and the machine was too small, exactly, we had a pretty big edge on the landing.
It was a square edge knuckle at the backside square edge.
Exactly. And the takeoff, I shaped it like
perfect.
We shaped it on all the other jumps. Perfect. It was just really nice, beautiful, also like a supercross jump or something. And I can remember always when we was jumping it, we was saying, this jump is fun. This jump looks really high when you are just driving by and someone is jumping it. But don't make stupid things.
if you come up short.
If you come up short, it's gonna be hurt.
And we said that for about 6 months, maybe 9 months we were saying that.
I think so. But
we rode it. We rode it earlier, I think like in March or something. We were jumping it and everything was good. But then we had 6 months where we didn't even ride for some reason.
I guess we was all busy and all something else. And I guess we also used pretty much the time to go on other tracks. Riding.
Mühlhausen.
Exactly. We was on the local track somewhere out. And exactly, this was the thing. And then we never figured out or never find the time to get the dirt. That was a problem, to get more dirt to fill the hole. And the biggest problem was getting a machine. Yeah. Because our bobcat is just too small. So if you want to do it, no way. Yeah, so didn't find the time. On this day, we didn't jump in on the first riding session because the sun was in a really bad spot. Yeah. So when you went to the jump, you was nearly blind. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you couldn't see a thing that day.
Exactly. And so we had the first session, everything perfect. And because it was a little bit late, I guess we just had only a short break and decided, okay, guys, before it's getting dark and you can't see anything more, so let's go up and jump again or do a ride again, a session. And exactly at this moment when I put my helmet on, it came in my mind, look, now the sun is good, you can jump.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know what happened. You know the situation when your brain is not connected to your body?
Yep.
It was like I put my helmet on. I said, okay, what you do? You gonna jump it straight away? Or do you just want to go for 1 or 2 laps easy and then jump it? And then my part said, no, you don't need to go 2 more rounds. You jumped it so many months. Yeah. It's not a problem. Everything is fine. Just go for it. You can do it. And don't waste so much time because it's getting dark soon.
Whereas I was being a pussy and rolling around and did a couple of speed checks. You're thinking, just go for it. And I thought, maybe I just have a little look.
So, and then, you know, and I said, okay, maybe be smart. Just follow Mike. Because Mike jumped it already on this day because he's racer.
The professional.
He's a racer. Look at him. He's totally in shape.
Yeah.
You know, riding all the time, not like us. So
I bet he shits muscle.
yeah, it seems to be like this. And I saw him and I said, look, just follow him. That's the safest way.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. He was so fast around the corner and everything. So I was too much
too far behind him.
Too far behind him. And then again, my fucking thoughts coming up. Jump it, not, jump it. And then it was like, oh, something is wrong.
Too late.
And I just realized I take off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt. It's too short. It's gonna be short. Yeah, and it was like 30 centimeters.
Maybe,
so,
yeah.
I mean, normally 1 meter more would be perfect.
1 meter more, you would have. But this we wouldn't be having this conversation about it.
This one, minimum 30 centimeters more, and everything would be good. Yeah. But my rear tire and my motor and my engine just hooked up on
full
this edge.
Frame case.
And how long was it? 21 meters?
Yeah, something like this. Yeah,
21 meters and pretty high as well.
Steep jump.
It was
very small landing.
Exactly. It was a pretty bad impact. The first one, and it stopped me from the speed to zero.
Yeah.
And with all the engine I still had in my body, I don't saw it, but you told me I was my legs going over my handlebar, my stuff.
Yep.
And I was doing some
cartwheels
in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second hard impact was hitting the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at this moment you realize, shit.
Yeah. It was a big one. Like what I saw when I did my speed checks, just wondering if I should jump this jump yet, or we haven't done this in a long time and it's a pretty gnarly jump, and we always said if you come up short this is gonna hurt, and I'm pretty good at over jumping, so I knew I can over jump easy. And then when I turned around, I just rolled over and I look back and I see this Suzuki flying through the air,
but without Fab.
No, I saw it flying but not fast enough. Ooh. And when you 50-50 frame cased and the bike completely stopped, and then you did the cartwheel, you did the front flip, arms and legs were just flapping through the air, and there was nothing you could do apart from spot your landing the second time on the flat ground, because it's a step down as well, that jump. So I guess you've cased it, all your energy has then gone into this front flip, and then you've fallen down even further until you smacked hard again. So and it was an awkward position. I saw it. I was like,
I can remember it was a lot of energy working in your body. And that was also after the next days, every muscle was so sore and was so in pain. It was just crazy. So I saw it coming. It's going to be really hard landing, and all my muscles just,
you brace
trying to protect me. Yeah. And after the impact on the floor, I was pretty pissed on myself. Yeah. Because of, no. Because I had, in all my career, I guess 2 times a brain fart. The first time, it was in my last show in Supercross Stuttgart. Yeah. When I had this brain fart and I was speed checking for the flip, and my wrist was thinking like, okay, do a backflip, but my head and my body not. Yeah. And you know how it's gonna end like. Exactly.
The big boner air, the Ronnie Mac boner air.
And at this moment, it was the second time. Yeah. And it was just like I was pissed, and I said, "Oh fuck, not at this time now, please," because we was full of work and so much stuff to do. But I don't know. I forget about the time. But how long time passed when I said, okay, something is wrong with my hip and stuff? It was not so long, huh?
No, I mean, you were on the ground and I remember Daniela ran over, your sister ran over and, Fabi, you okay? And you just went, moment. and you were just touching each wrist. Okay, wrists are good, ankles are good. Fabi, are you okay? Moment. And you checked your back and you checked like sort of everything, and you checked every part, and then you went, nope, my hip hurts. Something's wrong with my hip, and I think my shoulder,
and my ribs or something. And that was the pain. Yeah.
And then we tried to pick you up. Me and Mike tried to lift you up. And you stood there for about 1 second and went, nope. Can't put the weight on. Okay, then sit down.
Exactly, because this was exactly the same feeling like I had in, what was it, 2003, where I had this losing the rock solid crash in Salzburg.
So the worst crash. Maybe not the worst, but one of the worst you could have.
Also a really ugly one. And this was also about this feeling when I was just, I don't know what you're saying, laying on the knees and the elbows, and you can't. But this was even worse. It was so in pain they can't even bring me up and stuff. But this was the same feeling like, okay, when I want to walk and you getting, what you say, Zug, not pressure, the opposite.
Like it's coming away.
Exactly, when you're trying to move and there's the bone out of the hip, getting movement, like, okay, nope, there's something wrong. So you brought me the chair because the plan was go up to the street waiting for the Krankenwagen, for the ambulance. Was not possible. No, this was a time where I realized you fucked it up.
Exactly. We had such a good day that day, and Fabi fucked it up.
I fucked it up. How could it be so fast? Yeah.
And so what injuries did you get in the end? It was broken Schambein.
It was the
pelvis.
Pelvic pelvis, but it was 2 times.
Yeah.
2 times broken the
pubic
pelvis,
bone,
something. And is it the same word in English? LVS5, the vertebra?
Oh, L5.
LVS is a lower, LVS5, The Lendenwirbel was just it was not totally broken, there was just a fracture inside. And I had 3 ribs. And the lung was like, what you say, like collapsed or something. There was the prayer was not as good anymore, and my collarbone. And the collarbone was the broken part was closer to the shoulder, so not in the middle. It was closer to the joint, exactly. And pretty shitty. So this was for me the next 6 weeks, just moving as much as I really has to need, what I have to do,
as much
and then the rest
as little as you needed to
exactly do. Just laying down, doing nothing, and let the joint and the hip and everything, pelvis heal together. And at this point, then we had the discussion about the collarbone operation or not. And I talked with quite a few doctors, and the good thing on all the injuries was all the, what you say, Bruchstellen, the break points, or they was straight. There was all the bones
always
was
clean.
Was clean.
Clean breaks.
There was it's the right position. So they don't need it to fix something. So this was the first really good information what I get. But and then we said, okay, if I have to do anyway 6 weeks, nothing, just take it easy. So the doctor said, okay, then we don't also no operation on the collarbone. And I had this, what do you say?
The sling.
The sling?
Yeah, you had your arm in a sling.
In a sling. And I was not even 1 week in the hospital. And then the doctor said, okay, we can't do anything for you here. So you can go home, but you have Versprechen. What do you say? Versprechen. You have to tell me or give me your word. You have to give me your word that you are at home really. Stay most of the time in the bed, You can sit whenever you want, when it's good for you, because you are out here of the hospital, but you are still status schwer verletzt, hard injured, or what you say?
Yeah.
Something like
schwer
this.
verletzt. Yeah, it's a big injury, or it's a
Exactly
heavy injury, something like this.
No, this was the first part what we did after the crash, and of course the doctor wanted to get me back as fast as possible, also with my work and stuff. They also organized
rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation. And they said, look, normally after 6 weeks, your collarbone is good so far, when everything works normal, so you can go direct to reha, and you have 3 weeks reha, and then you are already finished before Christmas time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a perfect timing. We did all these X-ray checks and everything.
Yeah.
Everything looks good. And after 6 weeks, the doctor said, okay, bone looks good. You see this little white stuff, so you can see that the bones are connected again and everything. You can go to reha. Okay? Perfect. Germany, we say gesagt, getan, said and done.
Yep.
Having been there for 2 days, getting pain back in the collarbone and also a little swollen part. Talk to the persons, talk to the, what do you say, the
like the
therapists and stuff.
Yeah, physiotherapists.
And everything. They said, that's normal. Because all the muscles and all the ligaments and everything, now they are triggered or get activated again, so you have a little bit pain. Okay, so I ignored the pain. After 2 weeks, it was still not better. I re-talked to the guys and let them know, no, do it, it's fine. But then I guess normally you have 2 or 3 days before you get out of the reha, you have a last talking, if everything fine, and then they're making the documents and stuff. And there was a plan just to say, okay, now you are good, you can do all your exercises, everything is fine, you are good again, so go out and you can go back to the work. And I said, no, there's something wrong. I can tell you.
You know when something's wrong in your body.
Exactly. When you do all the years sport like this and you need your body, you can trust him when he's telling something to you. Yeah. And I said, no, there's something wrong. And it was a little bit of fight to say, no, I'm not good enough to can go back to work and do my job, because I need my shoulder, I need my arm, everything, because I'm 80 or 85% out.
Yeah.
I'm not only in the office, I'm out doing the körperlich, physical, or what is it?
You're doing physical work
and stuff. So I need my body. And then you said, okay, when it's like this, just go after Christmas, go to a next specialist and do an X-ray again. Yes. Oh, we went to Bamberg, another X-ray. The funny thing is, on the X-ray, it looked pretty good. Although this doctor said, the X-ray is not auffällig. There's nothing wrong with it, or
nothing jumping out at him.
Exactly, you can see wrong. Exactly. That's what I was looking for. But he did the other photo, CT scan. CT scan.
Yeah.
And he said, look this picture.
Yeah.
There you can see the bone is not connected at all.
So one X-ray looks good, but the CT scan is completely different.
That's crazy. He said the normal X-ray, it seems like there is connected and it's good, but on the CT scan you can see there's a gap through the whole bone, so it's not at all connected. And I said, oh, nice. So what does it mean? He said, you did your physio with a broken collarbone.
Yeah, 6 weeks physio.
Perfect. Yeah. All the stuff.
So now you need the metal work and...
Exactly. And now he said, look, now you need an operation. You get this plate. I have the hook plate in Germany, Hakenplatte.
Yeah.
It's inside.
Yeah.
And there's also, from the start on, everything seemed to be pretty easy and nice. He said, look, that's your problem. We fix it with this plate. And then Mike was with me.
Yeah.
He said, 6 weeks. 6 weeks, the metal will be in.
Yeah.
After 6 weeks, the metal comes out, and you start
Rehabilitation again. Yeah.
stuff again.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, this sounds good. I mean, 6 weeks,
whatever.
but okay, when it's done, it's done. And it makes sense to me, because normally with this sling, 6 weeks, and then you can say, look, when I have metal in it and it's connected with screws, 6 weeks is way more than just with a sling.
Yeah,
it should be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
You said, okay, we do it. No, 1 week later, I was on the table.
Yeah.
What do you say? Operations?
Operationstisch.
Operation table.
Operation table, yeah.
Had my operation. And they told me everything was good. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
No problems. No trouble. Yeah, fine. Good. And the doctor was there one time, and then he was telling me everything is fine. And then 6 months.
7 months now.
And I was like, wait, give me a second.
The doctor told you at that time.
At this time,
6 months.
I have 6 months. I have to be with
What?
a metal. And I said, wait, give me a second. I'm maybe just a little bit from narcose. Still,
Yeah.
It's still dizzy or something. I said, when I was here for the
Like consultation and everything.
and for the Aufklärung, for the talking, what happened, what you're going to do,
Mm-hmm.
2 persons told me 6 weeks, and then I'm going to reha.
Yeah.
Because already on this day, there was one person here was asking me where I want to go for reha. So, normally you just do it to get a date or something. I said, I just don't get it. So something is wrong. And he said, no, it's 6 months. And he left. And then I said, wait, I called Mike and asked him, said, hey, I am stupid or what? He said, no, 6 weeks. They told 6 weeks, and I was asking the person again because I was wondering that's not a long time.
Yeah.
And she said, no, 6 weeks. Okay. So the plan was
Maybe it was like I was there trying to speak in German to them.
not my
and
my
not
Deutsch,
understanding.
My Deutsch is
Maybe
not as English. No, not the L from the egg.
exactly.
From the egg, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe sechs Wochen, 6 Monate.
Maybe you just
For me, I
switched it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
But this was really strange. And then, I mean, this was the first day. I was good with all the narcotic and all the painkillers and stuff. But in the night, pain's coming up so bad.
Yeah.
But it's not a normal pain from an injury. It's like cramps.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. It was so... I was like, I need more infusion. They gave me a really big infusion. And the Schwester...
Yeah, the sister.
The nurse said, look, you have a lot of painkillers already. I said, yeah, but it's horrible.
It's doing nothing.
I really can't handle it.
Yeah.
I cannot sleep. Nothing. And it's so bad that I was cramping that I wanted to move my shoulder and everything. And also my stomach muscles was also like, cramping because it was so painful. I said, something is wrong. So I need something. They gave me this infusion and said, look, that's a really strong one. And it also makes you tired.
Yeah.
You can sleep.
Didn't work.
Didn't work at all.
Yeah.
After 1.5 hours, I ring the nurse again and said, look, it's not working.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, really? She was totally confused and surprised. And I said, it's still so bad. And she saw me that I'm not in a good condition. And he said, look, I have to check now what I can give you because this is normally the most heavy stuff you can get. And then she came back with a pill, and she said, look, this one is with morphium.
Oh, now we get another good stuff.
Maybe I get another good stuff.
Yeah.
And she gave me this, and this was working a little bit, and I fell asleep. And then, hello, I guess it was 4 o'clock in the morning, I fell asleep, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, what is the word? Visit is a...
Like
when the doctors are coming
I'm thinking
in.
breakfast in the morning. You're talking about doctors.
Breakfast was a little bit after 7 o'clock because you have to do it before the doctor showing up. That was 7 o'clock. And and how are you doing? You are feeling good? And no, I'm feeling not good at all. Yeah, but something was wrong. Something was really wrong with the shoulder, and it was not normal, and it was always the next days as well.
Yeah.
And I talked again to the doctor, but he said, look, everything is fine. I don't know why the pain. Maybe it's because it's an injury and there's an operation and normal. But everything went fine in the operation, so you can go home. And they wanted to send me home after 2 days.
Yeah.
And I said, nope.
Yeah.
I'm so in pain. I can't sleep. I can do nothing. I can't get these painkillers at home because you just don't get it in the normal pharmacy. Exactly. I said, I will stay here one more night to see if it's getting better. But of course, it was not getting better. Then it was weekend. The chief doctor was not here anymore. And the other one sent me home. And then at home it began, the next horrible time because...
And it's just continued on and
all problems.
And now we're 7 months later.
7 months later and it's not getting better. Still some problems. And now I'm off the painkillers. It's getting a little bit better because I was on Sepp Brown in Innsbruck.
Yeah.
So that next thing from
where
here...
you sent me for my hip.
I traveled exactly also. And because he's a really nice guy and he helped me all the time. So I went to him. He checked everything. And he sent me back again in this sling for 2 weeks. And then it went a little bit better, everything. But now everything is not as good as it should be. We are far away from being good. And my physiotherapist also, when we're doing some exercises, I have some really strange noise in it. Don't know what it is, ligaments, bones or whatever. She said, nope, I'm not doing any exercises with you anymore. I'm really scared about that something is wrong. And now it's give me 3.5. No, and it's nearly 4 months now after the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And next week I get another CT scan.
Yeah.
And
so
hopefully
next week, hopefully you finally got some good news.
Exactly. I hope that the bone is good and everything is fine.
Yeah.
That we can go for the next step, get rid of this metal.
Yeah.
And then I really hope that when the metal is out, my body is getting back to normal.
Yeah. And hopefully ride this year. Imagine if you could get a ride in this year because you should have been able to, but
I should have been able also normally for 2 months to do something like this for riding.
Yeah.
But with this, my wish is not going for riding this year. My wish is really now get this off, getting back in a normal shape. I want to go back on my working because I love my work. And like this, everything is in pain, just washing dishes or something. When you
then don't wash the dishes.
If
it hurts, don't do it, Fabian.
There's only one position what is not making pain, and that's sitting on the computer.
Perfect. Then that's what you need to do.
Playing some games.
Exactly.
No, but even holding a beer or drinking a beer is in pain. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Then you have another hand.
Now you can imagine. I go with the left hand.
Prost.
Yeah, so it's shitty. That's what I said. It's really shitty, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
And so hopefully in next week everything comes out and getting to a new focusing, and then going to Sepp. And when Corona let me,
Yeah, exactly. I hope. Yeah, he's in Austria and we're in Germany.
It's also made it not happy about it or not easier with all the shit.
But exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully next week you get some good news. I mean, the good news is right now we're having our Rothaus beer, which is good. Hey, the funny thing is, remember when I first came here? So I've been here now in Rodental 5 years.
Isn't it even longer?
5 years I've been in Rodental,
6 years?
6 years in Germany. And remember when I got here, I said, I need a beer sponsor, a German beer sponsor. And you laughed and said, no way. And it turned out you were right when you're riding freestyle motocross. But hey,
it's not that I'm not tried it before to getting a beer sponsor. So I was as smart as well.
But here we are with a podcast. It doesn't matter. So I can have a beer sponsor. So hang on. We're in Bavaria, in Rodental. We're 5-10 kilometers from the old east-west border. We're in Bavaria for you. Oktoberfest or the local Schlossplatzfest? What's better?
That's a question.
See, this is a big question for the international listeners.
You mean, Oktoberfest is in Munich. So this city is, and this festival is it's worldwide. So I know also Chinese people coming for this festival. It's just awesome.
Australians.
Because, you also get this really strong beer.
Yeah.
and all the really nice breweries and getting all the nice beer. And with all these people, it's just everyone is, sorry when I say everyone, but most of them are just drunken.
Of course. That's why you would go to
having
Oktoberfest,
fun,
right?
enjoying the beer. And so everyone is enjoying the beer. So it's kind of all your, what do you say, Gleichgesinnte. So it's like your friends all like the same beer. And then it's really easy to have a good time there. Yeah. And Schlossplatzfest, it's something different. Schlossplatzfest is more, how should I say,
and like Schützenfests and
it's more like
Brückenfest.
It's more like exclusive.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit more. You get some extraordinary food, some drinks and stuff, and I guess on this one you will never see so much drunken people because there is. Sometimes you're saying it's a little bit more the. Can I say it? High society.
Oh, go for it. What, when we're there, it's not.
no, but you know, of course,
no, it's different. It's a different atmosphere.
It's a totally different atmosphere,
yeah.
And you know, it's also a little bit more the clothes and stuff. Yeah. It's like you're going more. This is more theater, you know, and Oktoberfest is just kino, cinema, or something, and whatever. So this is the difference, and. Yeah, I have been on the Oktoberfest. I have been on the Schlossplatzfest. Yeah. It's good. But you know me, I'm anyway not this kind of guy who extra going somewhere for this one. If I want to have my beer, I have it at home. Yeah. And this is also on the Oktoberfest. I guess it's pretty hard to find a place where you can sit down and just, chill. It's super hard, and then getting the beer, and then it's always so many people and stuff. So it's
Rach and I did Oktoberfest when we had to drive down to Munich one time, the first year we lived here. Yeah, and you had to commentate X Games in German. So you were working in the studio somewhere in Munich, and Rach and I went to Oktoberfest. But it was so hard to get a beer or to sit down, and it cost a fortune anyway. But for me, like just being in like the village here in Germany, it's freaking awesome. Like Schlossplatzfest, very nice. The best one for me is Brückenfest. You have in Germany, they will have a festival for anything. There's a couple of the other ones. There's Schützenfest, so for like gun clubs or
that's
whatever.
More official, something bigger. Bigger.
That's a bigger sort of thing. There's that one in Kronach, and then Lichtenfels, which is a town 20 minutes from here, has the Korbstadtfest or Korbstadtfest.
Korbstadtfest,
And when I found out what that meant in German was like the Basket City Festival. And I thought, okay, you can have a festival for anything, for a city that makes wicker baskets.
Just give it a name and have a festival.
Exactly. And the best one is the one down, it's maybe, 1 kilometer from where we're sitting right here in your house. Yeah. Brückenfest, the bridge is maybe 2 meters wide.
I just want to say, you will not even realize it if you don't know that there's a bridge.
You wouldn't even know that it's a bridge, but there's a bridge, and they have a festival every year for this 2 meter wide bridge, and it's the biggest thing in Munkroden. I love Germany.
I mean, it's all the years, it's always the same, and all the people coming there, they know each other. There's just, what do you say, a wagon, beer wagon, and they're having bratwurst, some bread with cheese and stuff and whatever, and that's it. So having a good time.
The small town stuff's way better.
It's more easy. Exactly.
Right. So we've taken a long time to cover the basics of why your arm's not looking so good. Let's go all the way back. How did you get into freestyle motocross? Because you are over 40 years old now. You are one of the OGs of the sport.
Yeah,
there wasn't really much of a sport when you started. I guess it just started. There was, the first big names like Mike Metzger and Sinkmars and Kerry Hart and whatever. But you were going, like, you were riding way back then.
Yeah, that's right. My first bike I got when I had my 10th birthday.
Yeah.
I got this PV80.
Yeah.
just before I was
a
riding.
Pee-wee 80 for you would have already been
I was
6 foot tall at that point.
Stop. Don't imagine that I was as tall as I'm right now, because till the 10th class of school, I was what do you say? Little?
No way.
Lowest,
the smallest?
The smallest guy. It's not a joke.
You're like 10 foot tall now.
I was the smallest guy, and you have every year normally these meetings with the school and stuff. And in 1 year, I grow so much. I don't know why. Yeah. Whatever. Maybe it's the school hold me back also. Yes,
they put a brick on your head as you
there must
grow
be
up.
a reason or something. And everyone was confused seeing me back, because I was taller than most of the other guys now. But I don't know why. Whatever.
When I was in school, when I came back after 1 year, I'd always come back with another arm in plaster or a leg in plaster. Yeah, I didn't come back taller. I came back broken.
That's different, huh?
So how did you get into freestyle then? Like, obviously you raced.
I raced, exactly, and we just figured out that jumping and stuff was the thing what I'm
more passionate about. I
guess.
Yeah,
it was just I did it with a lot of fun and passion, and also skiing and BMX and whatever, all this stuff. And when these supercross races was RDRC Supercross, and also when I was racing the international motocross series, there was always in these breaks or in the evening they had these shows. It was not freestyle, it was super jump. Can you remember the time back? No, it was way before your time. And the way before your time, it was not freestyle, it was called super jump.
Yeah.
And then there was just on the tracks jump, and then jumping, doing one-hander, no footer or something. And that was just for fun and doing stuff like this. And then it was 1999 when this freestyle stuff from America showed up. Prost, cheers. In America, it came up with a freestyle. It's a wave, the freestyle wave. And of course, it swapped to Germany with VHS cassetten, video cassetten.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just to realize
the old VHS tapes,
how long back we are now. Yeah. And of course, you get these tapes, you're watching it, and then, hey, this is cool, this is crazy, and you want to try it out, and you're jumping and doing it, and then it comes more bigger and bigger in Germany, more super jumps for the Supercross, and then Edgar Torrenteras, they're coming over, racing, doing the super jump, getting bigger and bigger. And then 2000, Honda Meyer, Klaus Meyer did this first freestyle team with Basti Wolder, Klaus Meyer himself, and me. We had this MF, what is it, 01? Meyer freestyle team, 01, for the year 2001. And there was a year where it started. 2000, I guess it came up in Germany with the first ramps. Yeah. The first really events with landings for it, ramps for it. And it was Air Team. Air Team was a company. And then after it was IFMXF. And so now we are Night of the Jumps. Yeah, and it was the first part of it. I was part of it on the first day, doing the shows, doing the events. Build up my fab land for my own training location and stuff. So we had a really, really hell of a time together, riding everywhere, doing the jumps. It was just fun, not the contest stress like now.
Yeah.
And we had this, what was the first series? World Championship.
Yeah.
Was good for me. Was leading it. And
well, this was going to be one of my big questions here, because you started all the way back then. And what year was it? 2003, right?
Also, in 2003, I had my really bad crash with a knee. In 2001, we had the Risa and stuff. Yeah. There was also some big events.
So you were in the very first Night of the Jumps.
Exactly. From the first events, I was part of it. I can remember because I was in this year when they had these first jumps and they was trying out these ramps. I was still in my master school.
Oh. For painting?
For painting, because I did after my school and my stuff, my first goal was finishing my job plan, getting the master, so that I can run my own business and the business of my dad. So this was the plan, this was what I wanted. And at this time I had my...
To be smart, have your education before you start freestyle motocross.
Exactly. and I had my examen? Can I say
Exams,
it?
yeah.
Exams. And at this weekend, they had somewhere a jam with the Rams to try it. They brought it really close to the landing and stuff, and just tried it. And I showed up in Munich. And the ramp was placed on 16 meters or something. I have never ever jumped before a ramp. The landings was also, there was this really packed, what do you say? There's this
Like the clay?
The clay, exactly. It was
kind of like when Night of the Jumps is in Munich every year. It's really
exactly
hard,
really
sticky clay.
And also the landings was like a
edge.
ball, like a ball and stuff. And they told me the funny story is that Mike Jones was here for trying it and the week before and looped out really bad on the ramps and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, I never jumped it. But I was pretty skilled with Supercross and stuff at this time. And then just followed one guy, jumped it, was good, was fun, nice, everything good. And then we had all these events, all these shows. And it turned out that we made a decision. We are not going back to racing. We're focusing on freestyle together with Klaus Meyer and Basti. So it was really, really good. We had the first events, first success and everything. And then it came up with IFMXF freestyle.
Yeah.
They had this own world championship and all the big names like Mike Jones, Ilo Goop, Oystein. I can't remember all the guys, and also this Canadian riders and stuff and the French riders. And I was in this year, I was leading the series with a pretty big gap.
In 2003.
In 2003. In front of Ilo Goop.
Oh.
Unluckily, I had my last training session on my Fabland. And I don't know if you know, I was doing McMets pretty big with my ass on the fender and stuff. So this was one of my favorite tricks.
Favorite? I did one. I did one McMets and I crashed my brains out and I never did a McMets again.
I loved it. And I did also this one. Then I was, look, you need a combination to get more points because I knew Ilo has something in his bag. Yeah. And you are young and you are
stupid.
Normally I would just have, look, just do your run. I was just something I just would, when I have made it in the final, it would have been enough.
To win the World Championship.
It, stupid. But, of course, you're feeling good, everything, self-confidence, and go for it. And I was like, on this time, jumping on my own track, and I did McMets and really good bar hops with the ass on the fender. And I said, look, this would be a really nice combination. Doing a really big bar hop.
With your ass on the fender.
With the ass on the fender. And
then
I don't know if you have seen some pictures. My bike was pretty low. It's
looped
like
out.
It's looped out and then with the ass on the fender. And then coming back and said, it's an awesome idea. And I tried it. I guess 6 or 7 times because it was a really weird feeling. But then I tried it and it was good. And I said, look.
Oh, you did it?
It's working. I did it.
Oh.
I did it 1 time, 2 times. And I said, hey, it's working. It's good. So this is a trick you bring up to Oberhausen for the best trick, for the double up.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect. Do it 1 more. Nope. Don't do it. Bar up, coming back. I struggled with for the McMets.
Yeah, to get your legs back around.
My legs back around. I don't know if I just touched my handlebar or something. And I was just so close to get my bike back on the handlebar. And my legs was a little out of control.
Yeah.
And in the landing, I missed the foot peg. So I stomped with my left.
You jammed your foot into the ground.
In the ground.
Yeah.
And because of the forward energy, it twisted really bad.
Yeah.
Felt like my foot looks to the other side.
Oh, twisted your leg all the way around.
It was feeling like this. And I was scared to look down, but after 5 minutes, I was riding down to my body and said, hey, it was Oliver Kunert. I said, Ollie, something is wrong. Can you look to my foot? And he said, yeah. What's wrong with it? It's good. And I said, oh, is it good? And I said, yeah. I said, okay, then I looked down and it was in the right
Oh,
direction.
good.
You know,
Oh, that's good.
It was not my.
It didn't do a full 360
my
though.
what do you say? The toes
Yeah, the toes.
was not looking in the back. It
Oh,
was
good.
still looking in the front. But it was so painful. And then of course, swollen. Going home, going to Sepp Brown, having a X-ray and everything. Sending him the pictures, and he said, "Fabian, that's it. You are done."
You're done.
They put blood out and everything, and I said, "Look, but your knee is so damaged with the ligaments, with the Knorpel, the bone-to-bone
Cartilage. I know that word in
and
German.
this crossing ligament is teared apart and everything, and the meniscus is totally gone." And I said, "Look, you can ride, but if you have a shitty landing, everything is bone to bone, and if you twist it a little bit, then maybe that's it. You will never ever ride, or maybe you can't even walk again, probably." So that's it.
So a training crash at home just before the final. All you had to do was get top 6.
Exactly.
And you would have been world champion.
Yeah. And
well, that's the story, hey?
And I mean, I could have ridden, but for this time it was just, I trust Sepp 100%. And if he's telling me this, I'm not doing it. It was always the part, if he's telling me something, okay, out.
How hard was that decision to make? I mean, he told you, but you still have to make the decision of, maybe I can ride if I do half of my tricks, maybe I can win the world championship.
I mean,
there must have been that point. You must have been close.
Because it's so easy just to go in the final. You don't even have to pull out the hard tricks.
Yeah.
But on the other side,
I've pulled out all of my hard tricks and I never got to the final at Night of the Jumps.
It changed.
Jose beat me by 3 freaking points in Munich 2016. I never got to the final.
Jose has his, what you're saying, there's a bonus, crowd bonus.
Yeah, I didn't have the crowd bonus.
Yeah, so no, I guess it was a right decision not to go for it because I was still young and I had some more plans for the future. And so I was, not riding. All my family
far
and
smarter than I am.
We was up and was watching it. It was like having a little tears in the eye, but yeah. So
shit.
Second place also was good, but you know the feeling.
Yeah, you were so close. You were so close to the top, and
exactly.
Yeah.
But at this moment, what was way more pain in the ass was to know that costs you a lot of months to be off the bike. And this was 7 months.
Oh, another long one.
Yeah, with a knee injury and everything. So they fixed everything. And after 7 months, I was the first time back on a motocross bike for doing motocross laps for 1 month. Yeah. Just seeing if everything is fine and getting back in shape. And after 8 months, jumping first.
Yeah.
And this...
the ass was puckering.
The ass was puckering. I was on the ramp like, ooh. It's crazy. If you're not jumping 8 months and you be in front of your ramp. Normally I was like, jump 21 meters, but I was so scared. I put it to 16 meters.
Yeah.
Of course, you're also scared with the knee. You don't know what's up. But I got a lot of help from Otema then.
Yeah.
Otema just supported me with a knee brace and everything. And I had Sepp with a lot of good exercises and everything. So everything were good. And I came back. And let me think about it. Yes, when I came back, all the other guys used this time to doing the first backflips. This was some of this where I was. Yeah, exactly. Where I was doomed to sit at home and get back in a shape with my knee. All the guys was training on a backflip. And I remember Andre Villa, he has what was it? His name, where his park is.
Help
me.
Johansson.
No. Fred, not Andre Villa in Spain. He had this really huge park.
Yeah, did he? The one where he filmed On the Pipe and all those
Yeah.
movies,
Where he was with Pache and stuff. I am stupid. I don't get the name. Sorry, Andre. I don't get the name right now. Torrevieja?
Torrevieja. You were thinking of the place. Yeah, Torrevieja.
In Spain.
Yeah, sorry.
Was it the place?
Yeah, Torrevieja.
Yeah. So he had this really good and really big foam pit with the other Spanish guy, the small one.
Well, the small one would be actually they're all small, right? Danny, Michael.
It was. He had his foam pit in Murcia, and he was also a rider. And they had the foam pit and doing the first backflips, busty and stuff.
And so you missed that.
I missed all the time. Exactly.
Yeah. So you missed the World Championship, or becoming the world champion in 2003.
Exactly.
You're coming back from injury. Everyone starts backflipping. Did you get close to winning a world championship again?
For the compact and stuff, it was just pain in the ass.
Wow, I am blown away at the discipline that Fabi showed throughout this first half of the interview. Imagine being so close to becoming the world champion, firstly crashing in training before that last comp on a trick he didn't even need to do to win. He only needed to be in the top 6, and then after meeting with the surgeon and making that decision to pull out of the championship race. I think many other riders would have just thrown caution to the wind and ridden, not even caring about their lifelong injuries that they may sustain. And I mean, in a sport like freestyle motocross, you need to be 100% when you risk it for the biscuit, and it could have just been so much worse. I want to thank Rothaus Brewery again, which, just like my guest today, is German-born and bred. The art of brewing beer in Germany has been perfected over the centuries, and since 1791, Rothaus Brewery in the Black Forest region of Germany have been creating the best brews, including the Tannenzaepfle and Tannenzaepfle Alcohol-free versions, which comes in perfect for interviewing guests, editing the podcast later, or better yet, having a quiet beer after a ride on the track, ramps, or riding in the forest on an enduro ride. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this podcast in whatever platform you're listening to it on and give it a nice big 5-star rating. Make sure you check out our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channels for special content and behind-the-scenes videos and photos. We've only just scratched the surface of this interview with the professor, and I'll bring you part 2 of this interview in 2 weeks' time, where Fabi answers the last question about the World Championships and if he made it back to the top, and actually his role in perhaps creating a much safer world for freestyle motocross and the riders after that huge rock-solid crash, and at the exact same event, an iconic crash between Alvaro Del Faro and Derek Burlew. We'll catch you later.